The more interesting conversation is the countertones, which is that people are craving more than ever human connection, real people, real conversations. And so that is where, other than going online, or is the most common place on the internet. And so we think about the advertising opportunities, but how do you show up in a place where people are actively considering their purchase decision and talking about those decisions? And so with our tools, you're able to get into the right communities at the right moments and the right conversations that may be relevant for your specific brand and creative.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Ad Podcast. We are here at the Reddit Deli in the middle of the Palais. We've been transformed to a French bakery deli to get some lunch and showcase some really cool products. So this is an awesome activation. I think this is released, 3 years in or 2 years in?
We've been here a few years.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We do a different activation every year.
And just gets a lot bigger. We've seen it the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So Jim Squires is the CMO of Reddit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're up to and what you guys have had going on this week? How's it been?
Sure, it's been great. We're here connecting with partners and helping businesses and people just find and connect with communities on Reddit that are across every single category that you can have.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about the advertising opportunities on Reddit. I think it's definitely part of the conversation now as far as if you think about walled gardens, you guys are kind of considered in that ecosystem of, biddable media, so to speak. So what types of advertisers are the most successful on Reddit, and how do they do creative that is unique to the channel and speaks to people the way they experience different communities?
Well, it is a full funnel ads solution. So it started actually more in the branding space earlier on, and now the majority of the business is actually in lower funnel.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's really shifted. If you take a step back and think about areas everywhere, in all the conversations that I'm having this week.
And you guys are an important source of data for AI now, maybe a leading source of data.
Well, it's the number one size source in the LLMs. But I think the more interesting conversation is the countertones, which is that people are craving more than ever human connection, real people, real conversations. And so that is where, other than going online, or is the most common place on the internet. And so we think about the advertising opportunities, but how do you show up in a place where people are actively considering their purchase decision and talking about those decisions? And so with our tools, you're able to get into the right communities at the right moments and the right conversations that may be relevant for your specific brand and creative.
Yeah, I love it. It's kind of the authentic version of product reviews, right? Because it's you can go to a e-commerce platform, or you could go to somebody's site and you can see all the 5-star reviews that they show, but you want to see what real people are saying about real products, and even experts, people teaching each other how to use products, how to install them, how to make them, what's good, what's bad. It's more of an authentic place to do product research.
Hey, we have endless information now and very little price.
Yeah.
And so it's everything from AI generated content, saturating everything, perfectly curated feeds on social media. And so that's why it's become more important to actually figure out what are real people. And you can be anonymous on Reddit, people are actually sharing what they really think.
Yeah,
they're not posting content for they're posting content to actually help people, and incentive to do that, so you get the real perspective.
And how does it help from the crowdsourcing mechanism where people upvoting down to the thing? So, the best content rises to the top, so to speak.
Yeah.
Does that have an impact on how the ad experience decides where to put ads and when to essentially evangelize on behalf of your advertisers, if it kind of trying to surround itself with those most popular posts, those most relevant feeds?
You pull in signal from all views, and Reddit is the counter trend to AI, but to your point, it's also powering AI. We use AI, machine learning to help businesses achieve value on the platform. So you're taking all those signals. Reddit works different than social media because you go in piece of content starts at zero, and then it gets uploaded or down there from there. Whereas on social media, you've got a bunch of followers.
Algorithm versus human. They're both algorithms, but one is based on. I suppose you could say that some of the other walled gardens are like a comment or a share or say it as a hyper engagement that send that piece of content should be shown to more people, but it's definitely a different way of pushing it.
And a different way of human distribution. So on social media, it's the F's, friends, family, followers, famous people. On Reddit, it's the opposite. It's communities. It's many voices versus one polished curated voice that's don't trust, because many people sharing both positive and negative critique of what's happening. There's an amazing campaign, the Dove campaign right now. It's the real campaign, /EAL, which was creative, up for many awards here at MIs. But what they did was they took the first 50 comments, positive or negative, and they brought that into their marketing.
Yeah, I love that.
Confident approach, because they're showing that there's always critique, we're okay with that. They gave all the positive comments of people supporting it way more weight and way more credibility than if they hadn't been able to embrace both for positive and negative.
Well, and the negative content sometimes become like a meme in their own right, because I think about I don't know if you ever saw the campaign where the national parks took their worst reviews they could find on the internet and then put it into ad units. It just became really funny. It was Great Grand Canyon, nice hole in the ground, stuff like that. And it became very humorous to me, to kind of poke fun at the idea of we're not for everybody, but
That's good. I love it.
Yeah, I know a few years ago, data and actually monetizing your data and APIs became a really important, especially into the industry. Not only do you guys power LLMs, but you power the other businesses that have access to rich data to train their own proprietary models that help them enrich your machine learning, other types of applications. How important is your data business then as you continue to grow?
I'm thinking of it as secondary in our business. That's definitely important. It's really focused around a few large relationships, and it is important to models. Models have no lived experience, they have no creativity, they don't exist without humans. So it's important that's why I do those relationships. But the focus is very much on Reddit experience, not what's happening away from Reddit.
So you guys aren't getting into the DSP lane where you want to show basically extend your campaigns outside of you get enough to deal with inside your core.
Never say never. The focus is really around fostering those communities for people. Exposing and getting more people into the community they're going to be interested in really quickly. That's the consumer side. And on the business side, it's helping businesses show up in the right conversations, in the right communities. If you think about, there's 100,000 plus communities, billions of conversations. Our product, community intelligence, is the way that we allow business to harness the billions of conversations into something they can actually use. And so we provide those tools so that businesses can not have to hand but can go, those communities are relevant, all those companies are relevant.
That's awesome. So that's essentially a tool that can surface the best communities based on ingesting a brief or that.
So community intelligence is the layer for all of our products. The powers are insights. So it's Reddit is the greatest focus group that has ever existed. And so for businesses to be able to get insights about what's going on, what people say about my competitor, what to say about this category, what trends we have in the category, that then informs the work that we'll do on Reddit. But also off Reddit. It's really interesting insights that you get. And so community intelligence powers the insights. Then community intelligence powers with creative that will resonate and make sense. It powers the ad system. The features Reddit Apps allows you to tailor creative, set up campaigns in a really easy fashion, and have those deployed to achieve.
what types of ads perform the best on Reddit? I've seen like a lot of ads that look very native to Reddit, memes. Probably is it a great place to put your hero video from your campaign, or do you really need to think about the channel and create proprietary?
I think it's all the above.
Yeah.
And it really is, no matter what you're doing, I still always advise to be true to your brand. So if you are really call a friend and all of a sudden you throw trying to be funny, memey, it actually is inauthentic to you. So you don't have to show up as who you are, that you're a person or you're a brand platform. But they're the big award-winning, innovative, unbelievable campaigns like those, which are really inspirational and lead the way. And then there are the majority of campaigns on the platform, which are truly workhorse campaigns. Look what I mean, they're a great campaign. They're using our shopping ads, so very local, to move product and just drive conversions on the platform. It's a beautiful, wonderful creative, but you can actually take creative that you're using elsewhere, bring it into the platform, and then with our tools, you can make adjustments creatively if you want to, or you can run it and we'll just match it into the place instead of. So people ideally want to, whatever they're talking about or the community they're in, and we help with this, want to see something that's going to be relevant to that conversation. It doesn't have to be overly reworked or overly worked.
As a CMO of Reddit, what types of campaigns are you doing? What types of channels are you in to draw more users on that?
Yeah. We run across the board with on Reddit, on other platforms, out of home, a little bit linear 3D and digital and visual video. But the big focus is around exposing the mainstream categories that we know so many people are interested in, and there's already thriving communities that are beauty. So that's beauty, sports, soccer, World Cup, TV. Those are massive categories with all these communities, and they're vibrant. But there's millions of other people that we know are being seeing our content. So you'll see in our marketing that will highlight and showcase the people on the platform and the amazing conversations in specific categories, whether it's parenting or health and wellness or self-care, etc.
Are you guys kind of listening for trending moments? Obviously, you guys had a massive one with the Wall Street Bets thing a few years ago, where it was like Reddit became like a household name globally because of this phenomenon that happened in the platform. Are you guys looking for kind of moments of virality or in communities where you can kind of come in for guests on it and grow those moments?
We watch it. I mean, I think that is a great example, and some of them really bubble up. But it's a great example of just the types of things that messy, tension, and human things that happen on the platform. And so we have our own channels, and so something that's really interesting or popping, or we want to sway to say, we'll bring that out there. But I always want to intersect it with what is that interest, or what is that thing that's might grab people, and then we always try and make sure in our marketing to then land people into an experience on the buyer side that is relevant. So you see a parenting related piece of content in an ad, and then you run through into the Reddit experience. We'll drop you into a really parenting experience to deliver on what we promised.
All right, so what have you been up to at Cannes this week, other than this amazing activation here? Anything that was a highlight from your thought leadership agenda, being out and about and getting the name of Reddit in front of them?
We're spending lots of time with our partners, lots of time speaking with folks across the industry like yourself. It's been really good. It is the thing one of the things that's really resonated with people is what I was saying up before, this counter trend to not just AI, but also to the point of creative needs and people just really seeking human connection. Whereas it's something that's really bubbling up. We think about last year, Miriam's word of the year was swap, and Oscar's word of the year was awakening. So it's like really shows the state of the internet and really supports this idea of who wants something
unity. It's like my kids, like when they see AI stuff, they like use those control and stuff like that.
Right. That's
Well, Jim, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us in the audience. If people at home want to connect with you or learn more about all the amazing app products and opportunities to get involved with, pulling brand dollars and smart brand, where would you like to say?
Check us out at Reddit for Business across all the channels, and we'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. Thanks for your time. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
On YouTube, finding the right audience to build a media plan requires hours of research. And optimizing campaigns is time-consuming and a bit of a guessing game. That's why we built technology to do it for you. Strike Social.